With 401 days to the 2023 presidential election, the Independent National Electoral Commission is urging that decisions on the electoral bill be made quickly to ensure a smooth run of the election. CSOs, the legislators, and many other Nigerians have been pushing for the approval of the bill. But contrary to their views on its benefit, the president failed to give his assent, stating that some clauses within the bill be struck out and brought back to him. The bone of contention is a clause that stipulates that political parties adopt the direct primary format for the selection of party candidates. Joining us to discuss this is public affairs analyst Razak Olukoba. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you for joining.
And good morning, viewers at home.
Right. Now, let's begin with this matter, which is, generating discourse in the public, talking about the electoral amendment bill. And for the INEC is saying that it needs about 13 to 18 months if there has to be changes made to the act, although there is already a standing what they can work with. But because we are looking for an improved process that is transparent and, boosts the credibility of our elections, that was why a lot of Nigerians are calling for the passing of this Amendment Act. Now, where do you see this swinging? Because the National Assembly, before they went on recess, they told us that they will be meeting with their constituents, and there they will decide on where to go. As it is, they should be resuming tomorrow, and one is wondering, what do you see happening tomorrow when they resume? Will they veto? Will they strike it out? What will happen?
Well, first and foremost, I don't think the members of our parliament did a diligent job in talking to the people who elected them. And I think it's a personal decision among the parliament for whatever reason. Based on our assessment, we think it's a move just to get back to the governors, that the governors had too much hold on the party. And that is not fair on Nigerians. When the bill was given a popular rejection, that amendment was given a popular rejection, I said it is not democratic. Many Nigerians said so. What we had expected is for them to also say that we didn't inform you before. Now we want to inform you. This is what we had in mind. What he has said, we had people all over the country at various levels, local levels, community levels, who are working with us. And by extension, we had a relationship with political parties, we had a relationship with the INEC, and we also collate our own findings. The impression they are giving to us that they are getting back to their constituents, I don't think, I'm not saying it is a lie, but it is not a country-wide consultation, because we didn't notice it. That such a thing is going on. We didn't notice it at all.
Really?
Yes, with no feedback to us, because if there are, our members, we have members all over the world, all over the country.
Absolutely.
Who are also members of political parties. We will have encouraged them to go there and go and marshal the argument that the entire Nigerians are marshalling, that the move that you must give Nigerians just one opportunity to elect their candidate as a political party is wrong. It's undemocratic. We'll have told them, but we didn't notice it. We are not saying they are lying, but we didn't notice it. Upon such an exercise, it's not a thing you call 10 members at each your constituency and say that you are consulting in the way it was done in the past. The bill, the move has gotten a popular rejection, and they should not demonize it. Once an idea is rejected, let's move on. Let's go to the next stage. We have said that different political parties came on board for various reasons. And if they want to have someone as the arrowhead who will get votes, so that the vote, when they get to office, the person will implement their manifesto, allow party to decide how they want to do it. You cannot legislate such a thing. Something similar to consensus candidate is the way people elect their president all over the world. Russia today, The man has gone several times. And it's not a popular election that gets him there. It's not an election that, in the context of the way we have it in Nigeria, where you see lined up in the American style. It's a collegiate. They arrived there, including China. And if you want to say maybe Far East, Middle East, how about Germany? Michael was there for several times. Yeah. So allow political parties to elect or to bring on board a person who will represent them the way they want, based on the Constitution of Nigeria as stated by INEC. INEC. So it is wrong for the parliament to legislate how many times will I eat in a day. He wants to give a guideline, don't steal the food you are eating. But be healthy. Those are guidelines. Right. If you want a candidate, those are the things you should guide. Right. You should state for us to be able to elect. And one important thing is that our parliament must also know that oftentimes when there are issues of this nature, you should remember this is a national issue. Your interest might be there for 10 and by 12, at worst 16 years. After 16 years, Nigeria will move on. So if you say because you want to get back to one office holder and you are bringing this kind of thing on board, when you leave us, we come and can reverse it. So that's our interpretation to it.
Right.
That so it's a show of power between the parliament and the government.
From what you're saying now, the sincerity of purpose of introducing that clause was not there in the first place.
Yes, it's not a patriotic move at all. It's not. There's nowhere in the world where you find that type of initiative that political parties must. You say governors are taking over the parties. It means you're also not popular. But because we have 2 senators in the state, 3 senators in the state, and many members of our parliament, so governor, who is also one person, can put all of you under the carpet. There's something wrong somewhere there. But that's the language. They kept saying that the governor. That's outside the parliamentary argument. The argument outside the parliament has always been that the governor has taken over the party. The governor is going to take over the party.
Right, because what they told Nigerians was that they want a democratic process where everybody is involved. Talking about the direct primaries.
It is also undemocratic to insist that political party must have
just one process.
One process. That should be one of the several processes. What they should do is, if they have any other idea of getting parties, is to suggest to political parties or include in our laws as part of the various ways of, or what other ways can you use to curtail, which is advocacy, education. It says that political parties must not deviate from their own manifesto, because that should be the bedrock of political parties' involvement in government in the first instance. That what is your manifesto? The manifesto is what will get people to power at all time. You are not saying anything about all those ones. Then INEC, you have said over and over again that people who appoint INEC officials are also stakeholders in the election. President is stakeholder in the election. Governors are stakeholder in the election. They take too much participation, play so much influence in electing INEC officials. Did you do anything about that? And as long as we continue to have that, there will be problem to our elections. That we must reduce the influence of the president and the governors in the appointment of. So
no matter the number of amendments we make, until we reduce the influence of these people,
yes,
nothing will change.
As long as that happens, he who pays the piper may dictate the tone, and that is natural. So even the appointment of our IG, we say allow them to go to rank and file. Allow the IG to go to rank and file. That's why you see a police officer, they carry the bag of the person they are guiding. Why there are serious security issues on ground, you see them carrying the first lady's bag. It's not correct. Carrying the bag of a minister's wife, it's not correct. But because they need the input of politicians in their promotions, that's why they do that. By the time you allow INEC to be completely independent, such issues will not come on board. And that's why we are saying that there are issues, suggestions from the parliament that can make our election more credible. And INEC is doing its best. In election today, we have 82 million registered voters. Lagos State has the highest number of registered voters. Bayelsa, in terms of state, Bayelsa have the least. In terms of region, Southeast. in terms of region that have the highest number of reservations, it's southwest, northwest, on and on like that. And they have done their bit. What the parliament should do, but our parliament should do, is to look at what can give more credibility to our election. For instance, now, if you steal a ballot paper in Alimosho, you take it to Ikeja. From what the INEC has done, you may not be able to use it, except you are going to destroy it. And that's another advancement in our democracy. Absolutely. So what we are saying in essence is that issues of such nature that will give more coloration, more acceptance, more respect and regard to us as a people and as a nation is what they should be doing. Absolutely. People who hear that you are legislating over issues like this will become a laughing stock that, what's wrong with parliamentarians? We exchange notes, we exchange ideas as members of civil society who have colleagues in Kenya, who have colleagues in Ghana, who have colleagues, and what they tell us is that we should be the shining light. We should be the example of what Africa should be. Why do your parliamentarians bring issues, petty issues like this on board all the time? And they don't learn. They don't have a nature of letting it go. Once people reject issue, put it behind you. I can't be paying tax every year, and I see members of our parliament hoping that run our parliament as if it's a private property. They are trying to demonize the rejection. Serve the people. The people. And the way they are trying to demonize it, that the president has rejected, it's not the president. But then again, don't want it. And the people now are also questioning, the president's actions in terms of when he signed the petroleum industry bill into law, even though he had some reservations, that he could as well have done so and told them there's a danger. Address the reservations. No, there's a danger. The president should not touch it at all. All the amendments, we should not touch it at all. There's a danger in it. What's the danger? Because the parliament, they have an attitude of receiving budget last year August and passing this year August. A budget of the nation. Not talk of INEC, where they have vested interest. It will never be amended. They are not going to take note of what the president's observations. They will not do so. We don't have such trust in them that they went on. They're just coming back today. They work 3 days in a week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I are saying that, and we also know that the reason why they did what they did is because I have every suspicion that they are trying to get back to the governor. That's not our problem. Your own problem, you should sort it out outside the work of your parliamentary. You should go to your party and sort it out. If your governors are having overbearing influence over your own party, that is not about the generality of Nigerians. I am a supporter of APC. I'm not a member of APC. So APC issues should not, PDP issues, ABGA issue is different from governance. This is governance. So what we are saying in essence is that the parliament should realize, and the election of 2023 is also going to add to who we are as a people. Absolutely. So the earlier we instruct the INEC that this is the law you are going to be using, this is the law you are going to be using, the better for us. So do you see them, doing the needful when they receive? I don't think, for instance, the kind of structure we operate gives so much power to the president. 1999 to date, I have never seen our parliament upturning either what the president has done or upholding their own as against the party. As I don't see them doing it. And it's not because they are weak. It's because of the kind of structure we operate, because our president virtually needs no arm of government to operate. Almost, I didn't say not at all, almost don't need them to operate. So they don't have the charisma, they don't have the will, they don't have the capacity, and constitutionally they are also weak. This political structure makes them also weak. So I don't see them upturning it. I can say this with confidence that they will not upturn what the president has done. They will not override and say that they want to pass it. I know. I'm convinced beyond doubt that they will not. They will not. I know they won't do it. I know our parliament is our parliament. But this is what people need. But this is our parliament. This is what people need to change, because they need an improved process. This is what the people need. Maybe they should do it on some other issues. But on this one, they won't do it. This is we know our parliament. You also know your parliament. Do you know our parliamentarians from the? So we are going to see a repeat of 2018 again. That's what you're saying. What do you mean by that? A repeat of 2018, where a lot of people were hoping to see an improved process for the 2019 election. The parliament. Now the parliament is the issue, not the president. Two issues now. Between the last parliament and this, that there were improvements. But I'm saying that as improved as they have not been able to get
about the
capacity
now.
The capacity to do what Nigerians have proposed that they should do. They have not been able to have that capacity. They might have improved. Our budget passes on time. There were semblance of patriotism in them, of course. But on this one, it's a rejection. And first, it's a popular will that we don't want it. And the third thing is that the fact that the president, if it had been the general mass of the people, they have done it severally against they have passed a elitist bill, unpopular bill severally on several occasions. But to make it the matter more severe for them, it's not only the popular opinion that has said the president has said no.
Yeah.
So even if they disrespect and disregard the popular opinion, they cannot disregard. They don't have the capacity. I know they don't have the capacity. I work at the parliament. I know the way our parliament works in Nigeria.
You are saying that they would not expunge that part of either of the direct primaries out?
The president has stated his own reason why he will not accept it. And as a result of that, they will not override it and say that they want to pass it into law. Okay. They will not. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm making. Okay. We know our parliament. We know their strength and we know their weakness. And part of their weakness is what I've told you. More so, this is a popular bill. So they can't talk that between the people and the president. Both, we are combined the forces together. We are with the president on this one, that it should not come into its own. Democratic, there's nowhere in the world where you don't give parties, where you want to run party as if you are running a military barrack, that this is how you should go. It's not done as democratic, and we take it in entirety.
All right, public affairs analyst Razak Olukoba, thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure being with you. Thank you very much for having me.
Right.